and I have a couple of questions. How many of you all are familiar with what the Deficit Commission recommendation was in terms of State Department? Anybody familiar with that? The recommendation of the Deficit Commission was to essentially reduce State Department personnel by 10%. Based on studies that we looked at, and based on the criticisms in the report that was released by the GAO today, every area of the federal government has some problems, including yours truly and the Senate. The thing that concerns me is we have Diplomacy 3.0 with this goal of ramping up at a time when we're on an absolutely unsustainable course in terms of being able to pay the bills. And it's one thing to ramp up, it's the other thing to ramp up without proper training, which I think, and also the proper controls on the training. But I wanted to come today to thank Senator Akaka for holding the hearing, one, but also to kind of put into the record what is not going to happen in the future. And it's not going to get ramped up because we don't have the dollars to do it. And also to put into the record a criticism on locality pay. Right now, the State Department has 25,000 applicants for 900 positions. So you essentially have 27 applicants for every one position that's open. The locality pay, which is another recommendation in terms of comparison, is something that we're not going to be able to afford in the future, and it's going to go away. People ought to be expecting that. Our troops don't get locality pay. Our officers in our our military officers don't get foreign pay. The other thing that the Deficit Commission asked to be done is for every consulate to really assess whether or not they are absolutely necessary everywhere we have a consulate. It is a new day, and it's really important that our leaders, such as you all, understand that we're going to be under very constricted resources for the next 20 years in this country. The absolute imperative of having an effective diplomacy effort is vital to us. We understand that. But every area of our federal government is going to be required to contribute to that. And it really works out that if we don't do that, we'll be making these decisions in a very short time frame and not making them as effective as if we plan for them. And I won't go into the reason why that's going to happen, but there's not many people that deny that's going to happen if we don't do it thoughtfully and in a very prudent manner as we go forward. I appreciate tremendously the work of the GAO. Not that they're there to make people seem as if they've not accomplished what has been set out, but to raise the prudent questions that need to be raised to all of us to be better in what we do. And so I recognize Director Powell and Director Whiteside having a report that's critical of what we do in terms of training. It isn't meant to be critical, it's meant to make us better. And I hope that the report that is put forward will re-energize us in terms of comprehensive training for the very valuable State Department employees that we have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Senator Coburn. Ambassador Palmer.